My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. We are going to walk through every single one of our bets for UFC 267. Before we do, go to wewantpicks.com/bets. We have 3 different betting partners. Jump into one of them, make a deposit, let me know, and I will send you $50 just for supporting us and our betting partners. wewantpicks.com/bets. I'll give you $50 after you sign up and make a deposit. We've been paying people out left and right, so do it. Reach out, and I'll go ahead and get you paid. Jakey boy, big event.
Big event.
Let me walk through my bets. I actually only have 3 bets.
Run.
I only have 3 bets. It's an interesting card because there's massive favorites. And for the most part, I think they're all going to win. So I had to pick my spots. A lot of dominant Middle Eastern wrestlers. It's just such a weird card to find some spots in. I've been up units every single week for the last 6 months or so. And this card, I only got 3 units going. We'll see what else I got going on later. But for now, I have Amanda Ribas money line, -154. That line has moved. She's closer to -170, -180 now, depending on the book. So I feel good. I got ahead of that curve. I told you guys about that on Tuesday.
I told you guys about that.
She's fighting
Lock of
Verna.
the century.
You'll have your moment when your bets are up. Fighting Verna Jandaroba, who's a nasty grappler, but Ribas is a nasty grappler, and Ribas has beaten Mackenzie Dern with striking and takedowns and avoiding all the grappling threats. So I like Amanda Ribas here at -154. Then I have Corey Sandhagen at +5.5. So all that's doing is buying some points on the judges' scorecard. You hear me talk about the +3.5 bets all the time. This is +5.5 because it's 5 rounds. All Corey needs to do is win 1 round unanimously and then get another 2 judges to give him another round. And in this fight, in this matchup, with his length, his reach, his ability to make a round ugly because of his awkward striking style, I like that. I think he can get that done. It's -125. So, money line bet on him is +2 something. But this is an insurance bet. Corey Sandhagen can still lose this fight. I just need him to win a little bit more than 1 round, and I'll get paid. And then I have a parlay. I did this one with Bet US. So, again, we have 3 betting partners. We have Bet Online, which has the best props, and then Bet US, which has the best customer service and the best parlays and the best odds. So that's why I wrote the odds out here. I have Petrosky and Hugh over 1.5 rounds. That is -160. Then I have Duraev and Kopylov over 1.5 rounds. That's -150. I put those together and I got +170. Normally, if you take those, -150s, you put them together, you'll get +100, +110. I got +170. I'm very confident in that. Go over there. The sports books are not loyal to you, so you do not need to be loyal to them. You should have accounts with all of them. Find the best odds. And as far as parlays are concerned, as soon as you smash a few of these together, Bet US will give you stupid odds, like almost doubling my money on 2 pretty much guaranteed outcomes. Petrosky, dominant wrestler. Hugh has made some solid life changes. We'll see what he comes out looking like. Over 1.5 should hit. Duraev, Kopylov, we have good grappler, good striker. Kopylov's super tough. He should be able to survive the grappling of Duraev for over 1.5 rounds, and that should hit at +170. Jakey boy, let me do Dan's very quickly.
Okay.
Dan is not here. Dan is in Abu Dhabi with Glover. We just uploaded a video of Jan Blachowicz giving Glover a beer in the lobby before their title fight tomorrow night. Dan recorded that. He's there. He's hanging out with Glover. They're very good friends in real life, obviously. He did send over some bets. He said he's doing Glover to share a money line. He bet the house on it. Then Glover wins inside a distance. He put his kid's college fund, and then he put his return flight on Glover wins by submission. Obviously, the amounts, and this is literally what he texted us. Obviously, the amounts are kind of hokey, but it's his best friend. He's all in. He does have these bets. He just didn't want to share the actual dollar amounts because he's probably embarrassed about how much it is. Jacob, you have 2 full slides of bets, no money line, but a bunch of props, a bunch of parlays. So why don't you go ahead? I will sit back and let you
This
run.
this is going to be a fun Saturday. My name is Jacob Parlay, and let me say, first of all, I haven't been on one of these videos in a while. Hats off to you, Angelo. You have been doing incredible with your units, up units every single week, guys. If you want to follow along with Angelo's bets, he does incredible every single week. He will get you kind of like that safe money, those safe money bets. If you want to live in the suburbs, 2-bedroom house, get you a nice Honda Accord. If that's the lifestyle you want to live, Angelo's your guy. If you want to go to Vegas, penthouse condos in Miami, Lamborghinis, Ferraris. I mean, these are the parlays you're going to want to follow. So follow along here. We're getting the prop bets first, and then we'll hit the parlays. So I'm with Dan inside the distance with Glover. I'm going to follow him. I didn't quite put my kids' college funds on there yet. I don't think they're going to go to college. They're not quite around yet, but I don't think they're going to go to college. So I put a half unit on it. Corey Sandhagen, I agree with you. I think that Jan is going to have an issue with Sandhagen's length. And I think he's going to grapple because of that. And when he grapples, I think he might get caught. That's my kind of thinking in that submission bet for plus 1,200, only half unit on that. Murakami, this is my Finnish wrestling guy. So this was my kind of backup lock of the week. I like him to be able to steal around with this wrestling. I think he comes to in heavy wrestling, is able to steal around. This is the bets that Angelo loves, the plus 3.5 bets on the plus 130. I put a full unit on that. Then we got Amanda Hebos, my girl, my fiance, future fiance. She is my fiance. Paperwork still got to get worked out. I like her to win in round 2 or round 3. I think round 1, coming off the knockout loss, she's a little bit hesitant, uses some grappling. Verna is very, very tough. I think in round 2 or round 3, she gets it done, gets nasty, finds her groove, and is able to get the job done in round 2 or round 3. So I got Hebos. That's the biggest lock of the week. I love your money line bet. I went a little bit more aggressive because that's what I do. If we could flip the slides here.
Well, before we move on,
okay.
I like the Amirkhani plus 3.5. I mentioned I was probably going to do that during our live stream on Tuesday. The only reason I didn't, and I'm going to be watching yours, and hopefully it hits, and maybe I'll change my mind before the fights. He does have cardio issues, and I worry that he will gas, and then the third round is going to be a real big problem for him and might get stopped. Obviously, he can lose a decision. He just needs to win one round, and with his grappling, especially in the first round, he should win the first round. He should be able to do that. Maybe the second if Lerone gets tired, but the third might be hard for him. That's the only reason I didn't do it. But I do like it, and I might change my mind on Saturday, but for now, I'm just going to follow yours. Let's take a look at, you have 3 parlays. One of them is massive. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I got 3 parlays here. And listen, a few weeks ago, I went to Vegas, lost some money. Then I tried to make it up with football bets on Bet Online, so I lost that money. Baseball bets, I put a big bet on the Giants to beat the Dodgers. Didn't happen. I was at game 5, no big deal with my parlay money. But anyway, I had to reload money into Bet Online, so then I just started throwing darts at stuff. These are parlays. Honestly, guys, you probably don't want to follow them, but they're going to be some fun, I have an underdog parlay with Sandhagen and Americani. I started doing this with NFL where I pick kind of 2 teams that I think are going to win that are underdogs, and then you can really stack up those odds because they're both underdogs. So I have Sandhagen. I like his chances. Americani, a little bit, iffy, but, plus 875. Put a half unit on it. The next one is a kind of a favorites parlay. Most of these are all favorites except for Sandhagen, I believe. So I think there's 8 of them. You guys can see the names there. And when you stack them all up, 1,800 on plus on a half unit bet. I'll take those because they're mostly favorites. So we'll see what happens there. And this next one I was just kind of having fun with. I know Angelo likes to bet rounds every once in a while, and I was kind of going up and down the round list. And typically for a 3-round fight, I think the over-under is usually 2.5 rounds. For a 5-round fight, is it usually 3.5 or maybe it's 4.5?
It's not. Yeah, usually a 5-round fight is 4.5. Ultimately, it comes down to the 2 fighters. We just saw a 2.5 for Thiago Santos and Johnny Walker. So it depends on the fighters, obviously, but typically 2.5 for a 3-round fight, 4.5 for a 5-round fight. Yeah, or they drop it around if they think there's a stoppage.
Right. So I kind of went down that list and tried to look at for outliers, basically something that looked a little bit off to me. First of all, the main event, over 2.5 rounds. That seemed like a no-brainer to me. Both these guys are tough. Both can grapple. Both can hit. Obviously, Glover can get a little chinny at times, which kind of worries me, but he's still tough. Even when he gets, if he gets dropped, he'll just shoot for a leg, and then all of a sudden he's on top of somebody. So I like the 2.5 on that. Jan Sandhagen, 4.5 seemed like a lot to me with Sandhagen's striking abilities. So I took the under on the 4.5 there. Islam Hooker, This one is probably the one I'm most worried about because Islam could come in, take him down, and just TKO him. But Hooker is so good. I saw his takedown defense is like 90% or something like that. So Islam could have to work and really control positions instead of working for finishes. And Islam, honestly, really isn't a finishing type of guy. He's a control guy. So I like the over 2.5. Chimaev, this is the 3-round fight, over 1.5. I just think that he comes in, hasn't fought in a year, might be a little bit hesitant, over 1.5. And the same thing with Duryev Kopylov, over 1.5. Typically, those 1.5, like as you mentioned on the 3-round fights, is what you're looking for. So I kind of saw all these. I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and just stack them all up, put a half unit on it, and see what happens. So that's kind of my thinking on that. So there's the parlay, Jacob.
And you had this before weigh-ins, but obviously Chimaev struggled to make weight. He had to hit the scale 3 times, but that is misleading because the second time he hit the scale was broken. So they made him come back and do it again. But either way, he did have to use up all the time. He needed the extra hour.
It could be a struggle thing, or it could be, I mean, he's just kind of a weird guy. It could be he just waited and then was like, he knew he was close, so he'd get the hour. I mean, you never want to do that, but I don't think it was like a huge issue.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see, obviously we're all curious to see what he looks like. He hasn't fought in a year. He had COVID. He retired because COVID was so bad it destroyed his body. Then he unretired. Then he missed weight. So we'll see what happens with Chimaev. He's either the real deal or overrated. I don't think there's an in-between where he's just really good.
My favorite bet that I had, honestly, I put 2 units on it, and the fight drop was the Demir and the Mustavez fight. I had that inside the distance for 2 units. Because those odds were crazy because Demir doesn't finish anyone, but the other guy does. So I just thought that it was going to be an easy inside the distance. It's a shame that fight dropped. But
yeah, so these are our bets. wewantpicks.com/bets. Jump into one of the 3 promotions. They do full deposit matches. Jump in, make a deposit, get the free money if you want it. Reach out to me, and then I will send you $50. Just for supporting us, supporting the channel, and of course, supporting our betting partners. wewantpicks.com/bets. We'll see you on Saturday.